With the release of The Rise of Skywalker, many people would think that the Knights of Ren, because they were featured quite prominently in some of the behind-the-scenes images, were to be explained. And you would have thought so as well whilst watching the film. However, and unfortunately, they were not. But Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the visual dictionary, has revealed an awful lot of information about them. And it kind of makes them out to be a lot more badass than they were in said film. However, today, let's explore and explain the Knights of Ren as per the Rise of Skywalker visual dictionary. So Vicryl, or Vicryl, sees himself as the harvester, the reaper of the fallen, and the targeter of souls. Every unfortunate victim to fall to his weapons augments his power. The dark side, though it may be muted by his lack of force training, surges in him with each hateful strike. Vicryl, or Vicryl, relishes this, and prefers to eliminate his targets at close range, though he keeps a blaster pistol at the ready in case he should need it. Vikryl's latent force abilities manifest themselves in heightened reflexes and the power to magnify fear in his prey, though these abilities come unbidden and uncontrolled. And Vicryl has a cased-hardened Pastilian ore helmet, along with an annealed frick scythe blade, and a coat made from skin of unknown, monstrously large reptile. Cardo is the destruction side of the Knights of Ren. While most of the Knights of Ren strike with exacting precision, Cardo's approach leaves wide swathes of destruction. His hefty arm cannon packs more than enough firepower for a single warrior. A wide-bore flamethrower launches jets of burning Nafrax gel, burning down obstacles and any enemies using them as cover. A vented plasma bolt launcher has limited ammunition, but fires explosive charges over 200 meters. Cardo's obsession with weapon modification makes him the best armorer of the Knights, and he also carries a compact, expedient blaster pistol. Not only that, but Cardo also has concussion grenades which are strapped to his chest. His coat is also flame resistant, and he also has a tri-braced plasteel armoured greaves on. And from here we have Usha, or Usha. Usha is the knight most likely to force prisoners to grovel for mercy. He tests the mettle of his victims. Those who whimper for help are deserving of slow punishment, while those who fight back are to be lauded. Usha's helmet bears the crumple mark of a particularly feisty prisoner who retaliated. This desperate effort earned Usha's respect and a swift death. Usha's signature weapon is a war club with a blunt, heavy end that helps drive kinetic energy to a concussion field generator. This feature can produce a widely dispersed concussion blast. Now Usha himself, his helmet has breathing tubes and anti-ox filters which suggest a non-human origin. And strapped to his chest is a thermal detonator. Shaped baradium charges make this a devastating area effect weapon. This is something which we have seen many times before. And strapped opposing to his chest is a vibro machete, which is of course another close combat excellent weapon. And strapped to his wrist is an iron weave vambrace, which makes for a crushing backhand. Trudgeon in the Knights of Ren is perhaps the chap which most resembles Kylo Ren himself, at least via his mask. Trudgeon is a collector of trophies from fallen conquests. Trudgeon adds to his weapons and armour as his victories grow, and his patchwork helmet indicates that he defeated a Death Trooper at some point in the past, because of course he has a fragment of a Death Trooper embroidered into his own mask. Now this itself is a remarkable achievement given their strength and their rarity. His signature weapon is an enormous vibro cleaver, the ultrasonic technology that rapidly vibrates the blade edge for extra cutting power is an add-on modification to a traditional primitive weapon. When not swinging the hefty blade in combat, Trudgeon either rests the blunt end over his shoulder, holds it via the weight-reducing holes lining the blade's spine, or attaches bandolier straps to it and slings it over his back. Now Trudgeon also has heavy weave tabard and hood, along with scavenged armor plates, adding to his defensive capabilities. Now Couric is an interesting Knights of Ren. He is the most solitary of the knights, as per the visual dictionary. Couric serves as the group's rifleman and the pilot of the Knight Buzzard. He is the one most likely to remain behind, perched on a high vantage point, covering an assault with his precision marksmanship. The blinder flaps on his helmet focus his attention on his target, and his aim is further sharpened by concentrating on the force. He carries no bladed weaponry, relying instead on his multi-barreled custom-designed rifle, which has rapid fire, sniping, and pump-action plasma bolt firing capabilities. Now interestingly, Couric also has soft-soled boots for silent tread. And last but not least, we have Apalek. Whereas most of the knights prefer a straightforward and violent approach to eliminating their targets, Apalek revels in deception. As a strategist, he employs feints and misdirection to trap an opponent. On his belt is a smoke dispenser that obscures vision and disrupts sensors. His own nascent force abilities allow him to peer through such screens, and as a warrior, the sinister face of his battered helmet suggests an unsettling rictus, as he delights in his tricks. His preferred lethal weapon, though, is an ancient Mandalorian executioner's axe. Now, the Knights of Ren travel aboard a customized ship known as the Knight Buzzard. It started life as a dungeon ship from Osirtion, a penal world in the unknown regions that the Knights were hired to raid. Freeing the prisoners, the Knights also liberated one of the prison transports, altering its appearance to fit with their dark style. Its engine systems have been crudely modified to generate more thrust. This comes at a cost to its insulation baffles, which spew thick, noxious smoke as the ship flies. And there you have it. That is the Knights of Ren explained or explored. Interestingly enough, like I said, they just simply were not... There's nothing touched upon them in the film at all, which was such a shame. And the Night Buzzard itself was an interesting addition. I mean, the noxious smoke as the ship flew was surprising, because of course it looked like it was powered by diesel, and that's not going to hide them in any way, shape or form. But hey, you know, the Knights of Ren, they look cool, but ultimately it was style over substance. And yeah, I am aware that there is currently a comic running, or I think it's just finished, which reveals an awful lot more information about the Knights of Ren, even their leader, Ren, and kind of how they came to be, their backstories and things like that. But ultimately, look, if it's not included in the film and they're just kind of put there and made to look like, I don't know, a band of emos, a gaggle of teen goths, it just does not look that good, unfortunately. It's such a shame as well, because I think having seen them in the really quite cool flashback sequence to the destruction of the Jedi temples and things like that, it looked great. There even looked to be an old Mandalorian among them with a mask and helmet and something like that, and it looked really cool, but sadly it just never materialized. It's something which just never came to be, so it's such a shame. But again, ultimately, like I said, it's just style over substance, and hopefully maybe we can get something expanded upon further down the line, but I'm not holding my breath on that at all. So let me know your thoughts on the Knights of Ren down below in the comment section, and if you'd like to leave this video a like and show me that you enjoyed it, please do. Anyway guys, I've been Mr. H, thanks so much for watching, take care.